Hey guys, Chandler from Tactical Rush here, and today I'm going to be sharing my top 5 nostalgia-filled Nintendo 64 games. Let me start by saying that the Nintendo 64 was not only my very first console, it was also the only console I had for roughly 8 years, excluding my Game Boy Color of course. You see, my dad didn't really approve of me and my brother playing video games all day, so it was kind of taboo to play while he was around. Don't get me wrong, I had a great home life, this just made video games, meaning the Nintendo 64, much more special. Before we start, there are a few rules that are going to go along with this list. First, there's only going to be one game per series. And second, I've had to play the game a lot, and enjoyed it, and had good memories along with it, because, I'm going to be honest right now, there isn't a Legend of Zelda game on this list. Knowing that, I am 100% sure that there's going to be someone out there who disagrees with this list. That is why I cleverly named this list my top 5 nostalgia-filled Nintendo 64 games. So with that, on to the video.
Number 5.
Starting my list is Pokemon Snap. Let me start by saying that compared to the other games on this list, it is both my least played as well as the latest game I've gotten, so it already has a pretty rough handicap. Also, I was going to have Pokemon Stadium 2 in this spot, for its awesome minigames, full 3D Pokemon battles, and the ability to play Silver on the big screen. Wow. However, I didn't have a copy of the game, so I chose Pokemon Snap. This game showed me a world where Pokemon are truly wild. You didn't encounter them randomly in the grass or in a cave, they were just everywhere. Pokemon has always been a very large part of my life with a world that I have spent hours in, and this game brought that world to life. While the controls are a bit clunky by today's standards, the game gets its allure from being able to interact with Pokemon in 3D, which is helped by the graphics, which, to me at least, were very good for the time. This, again, is why Pokemon Stadium 2 is essentially tied with Snap. I just couldn't really get the footage. What is even better, the purpose of the game is essentially to appreciate this world you're a part of, and then get scored for finding the best things in the world. This mechanic made the game very fun to play, and me and my siblings always loved watching while one of us played. If I had got this game earlier and played it more, it may have been higher on the list, but honestly, I kinda doubt it.
Number 4.
Look at that thing go. Wow. Well, here's a game I don't think many people expected, Star Wars Episode 1 Pod Racer. With everyone going on about how much the prequels, as well as a lot of Star Wars games, suck, I have to say that this game is good. So good, in fact, that it's my 4th most nostalgic Nintendo 64 game. Wow, that's pretty good. Replaying this game, I found that I went back and forth from doing really good to being absolutely terrible. But let me tell you, it felt good to win. Going from winning every race to doing terribly, I'd realized just how much fun this game really was. One could be on top of the world, and then crash down to last place. Games that have no challenge are no fun. You have to lose sometimes, which is why this game only gets 4th. Also this.
Number 3.
Here is the first video game I have ever had, Space Invaders on the Nintendo 64. Aside from NFL Quarterbacks Club, but we don't really speak of that. My brother and I played the halibut out of this game. We'd stay up late and sit in front of our huge, outdated early 2000s TV and have a blast killing alien scum. The music was exhilarating and the graphics were nice, but what really made this game so fun was the near chaos that was going on. Seeing the enemies explode over and over again was awesome, and don't get me started on the special attacks. The game did have a weird difficulty going for it though. It started out really easy, then spiked a few levels in, then went down, then spiked again. This made the game feel varied, however, and we would have strategies for each level. Some levels were incredibly difficult, with things flying at you from every direction, but the bosses can really speak for themselves. Not every boss is equal, however.
Number 2.
Excuse me, this is not GoldenEye? Okay, now hear me out. I got this game maybe a month or two after getting my Nintendo 64. It is one of the first 4 games I had for it, and I didn't get GoldenEye for at least a couple of years later, so I already had my mind blown from Twine's first-person shooter action. This game plays a lot like GoldenEye, but it has the benefit of a few years of progress. It has better graphics and spoken dialogue, which was really unheard of for me at the time, and made the game awesome when I was a kid. But I'm not here to compare this with GoldenEye. This game was incredible. Controls are a little, no, but back then I didn't have any experience with a game where I was looking through someone else's eyes, and believe me, it felt awesome to do that. This is probably why I love games like Halo and The Elder Scrolls now. Of course, the best part of this game was the multiplayer. My brother and I played it all of the time, and we had a blast. Since we only had 2 controllers, however, for the longest time only us 2 were able to play together. But Twine had bots, so we were able to experience the mayhem of 4-player battles with only 2 controllers, as you can see here by me and my brother Dylan. I gave it my best effort, but trying to play this game now after however many years was really interesting, because I realized I kinda suck at it. Dying repeatedly to bots helped me see the clunkiness of the single analog stick, like I needed any help seeing that, and really made me thankful for innovation in video games. However, for introducing me to the genre, being innovative in my book, and being 14 years old, The World Is Not Enough will always hold a special spot in my heart. And that spot's at second place.
Number 1.
This is it. This is the big one. Bomberman 6D4 with appropriate victory music. I got this game a little later than Pod Racer, Space Invaders, and The World Is Not Enough, but let me tell ya, I have sunk so many hours into this game that it probably would make it to number 1 with that alone. Now, I completely understand if this is a bit controversial of a number 1. This is where you'd normally see Ocarina of Time, GoldenEye, or Superman 64, of course. But I didn't have any of those games as a kid. I had this incredible game, and I wouldn't trade it for anything else. It is not only my top nostalgic Nintendo 64 game, it is also one of my favorite games of all time. In fact, when getting footage for this video, I went back and beat the entire game again. I just couldn't help myself. But let me tell you, it was a little bit harder this time. Not because of the controls or anything, I just haven't played it in a long time. Like this stupid spider here. He comes over here and he kills me. And then he kills me again. And then he kills me a third time. In reality, it was probably like 50 times that he killed me. But so you know what I do? I take off his face and then I kill him with bombs. And I get all 5 of his gold cards. You know why? Because he doesn't need them. He's dead. Just gonna transition out of that. And good. One of the great things about this game was the feeling of accomplishment it gave you. You could be put up against a boss, die repeatedly, like I did with the spider, finally get up, kick yourself in the face, and kill the thing. Then the game would give you something like this. This game also has a ton of varied locations, wonderful music, and cool enemies. I mean, look, it's a penguin, and it's sliding around on its tummy. How cool is that? This game has great mechanics, awesome gameplay, memorable boss battles, and on and on. That's why it gets my number 1.
The Nintendo 64 has always been something I could come back to and enjoy. Some of the games haven't aged very well, but that just means that we're used to better controls, graphics, and gameplay nowadays. This is by no means a bad thing, it just shows how far we've come with video games. I'll always love the Nintendo 64, but that doesn't mean I can't enjoy the newest system. I play the PS3 all the time. It might not be the newest system, but I don't have a PS4. So please, share in the comment section below your favorite nostalgic games. Maybe I've played them, maybe I haven't. Yeah, but it'd be cool if I have. And with that, I hope that you enjoyed my top 5 Nintendo 64 games as I played a lot when I was a kid.